The opportunity exists, but a practiced vibrational accomplishing that allows the fullness of that knowing, that awareness, so that you stand in this physical body, but you operate as one point of attraction. Ooh, the awesome power of that. You operate as one point of attraction. You live in a vibrational universe and you are a vibrational being. But most humans don't realize that because you're so good at translating vibrations into your physical senses that you don't even know you're doing it. But there's another awareness that you could have of this vibrational connection, and that's through your emotions. Your emotions let you know how much of who you really are you're allowing yourself to recognize. Now, hear that distinction. Not how much of that is really you. It's really you whether you know it or not. Not how much of that is aware of you. That part of you is aware of you whether you are aware of that part of you being aware of you or not. It's happening, but when you become aware, but you've got to be in the vibrational vicinity to even know. And when you are in the vibrational vicinity, then you have a clarity that is amazing and an energy that is, it's not more than you have access to, but your awareness of it is pleasing to you. You don't have to know how wonderful you are for wonderful things to be flowing to you, but you do have to accept and acknowledge and find a vibrational place within how wonderful you are for you to let it in. You've got to open up your valve and let this energy that is you flow to you and through you. And you do it, almost everyone does it some, but most do it by default. They don't do it on purpose. So because they don't do it on purpose, it happens sporadically. You know it because you feel that high-flying feeling. You feel extra uplifted or extra clarity. But the conscious awareness of it and the skill at maintaining it allows you to accomplish a momentum, a point of attraction where you allow that consciousness that you are to attract consistently without contradicting it with resistant thoughts. And we are so eager for you to personally discover, because you can't get it by our enthusiasm. You have to personally adjust your frequency so that you're doing it before you get it. Because otherwise it's just so many words that sound sort of good that are annoying if you're not doing it, and that make you irritated with others who appear to be doing it. And then there's all those who think they're doing it that would like to help you do it, that you would just like to rid yourself of in some way. We understand all of that. You are uniquely you. And when you come together in combination with others who share your planet, oh, wonderful motion forward happens. And so by experiencing the contrast of knowing what you don't want and therefore knowing what you do want, you launch these rockets of desire that are received by that non-physical part of you. And we like to depict it in this way, that you launch these rockets of desire. And we want to point out to you that it's all right that when you launch those rockets, you are usually not a consistent, up-to-speed vibrational match with those rockets, because it's usually something that you don't want that has caused you to do that asking. So while you're doing that asking, you're usually contradicting the very asking that you're doing. But your inner being holds no resistance, because your inner being isn't out here on the leading edge with you. And so your inner being just receives the rocket of desire and becomes a full vibrational match to it. And that's what we meant by that powerful point of attraction. When you ask for something, your inner being, who so understands how this all works, gives undivided, non-diluted, non-resistant attention to not just the new desire you launched, but how it blends with all of the other desires that you have launched, and you become magnificently more. But now that you have just become more, the human part of you has an extra challenge opportunity to be out of sync with your new asking or be in sync with your new asking. Initially, you're usually out of sync, because what you don't want caused you to ask for more. But your inner being, not being out of sync, holds steady focus upon what you've asked for becomes the culmination of what you've asked for. If you're confused and you want clarity, your inner being is more clear about that subject. When you ask, it is given. Someone should write a book. But what trips you up is that it's given in this non-physical sense, in this vibrational sense, and these thoughts have not yet turned to things. So you don't want to count them. I asked for more. My inner being became it. My inner being became this powerful, awesome, non-diluted point of attraction. This powerful, non-resisted thought is who my inner being is. But I'm still justifying over here in my physical humanness why I want the money, because I don't have enough. And how irritated I am that that guy's got more than he needs. And so, as in my humanness, I focus on the injustice, while my inner being goes off and attracts a veritable empire, a veritable fortune, abundance of all nature on my behalf. The question is, what am I doing in my humanness in relationship to that? And your emotions let you know. If you're ornery, you're not very good at it. If you're angry, you're not good at it. In the moment of your anger, in the moment of your ornery, you're not being good at it. You are focused upon something that is introducing resistance that doesn't let you know the prosperity that you already are. And so it seeps in little drips and rabbles. Esther makes up a lot of words. You could let a steady stream of it in. So, you can tell by the way you feel how up to speed you are with all that you've become, or how much resistance you're introducing to it right here and right now. What we would like to encourage is that instead of waiting until you fall in a hole and you really feel strong negative emotion, that you get out ahead of it, that when you wake up, before you've focused upon the things that introduce resistance into your experience, you let a little bit of momentum get going so that you hook up with who you really are, so that as the resistance shows itself to you, and it will, because that's this human environment in which you're living, because you already have some momentum going, you have a step 5 moment instead of a step 1 moment. Do you know the difference? Step 1 is contrast of your life causes you to ask. Step 2 is when you ask, it is given, meaning that your inner being and all of us that hang around there focus upon what you've asked for. And we don't just focus upon it, we don't just think about it, we become it so much that our point of attraction gathers all of the cooperative components for what you've asked for. So things get all lined up for you. You just have to get in a little step 3 moment of not being in the way or not blocking what you've asked for, and parts of it start coming into your experience. Step 4 just means you're so practiced at step 3 that we call you really good at step 3. That's what step 4 is. We know it's weird, but you can have a step 3 moment and not really be a step 3 person. You can accidentally stumble into step 3. But when you are doing step 4, that means you care about it, you care about how you feel, you focus upon what you think about, you think more deliberately. And then step 5 is you're so good at staying in alignment, so good at getting out ahead of it, that as life comes to you as you want it to, you don't feel negative emotion. Instead, you feel opportunity. You don't feel like you have some challenge. You feel the opportunity that it is because you were born. You came deliberately into this environment because you are a creator. And you want to gather the data. And you want to come to your own conclusions. Because what you want matters. Because you are a unique creator. And you get to create your own reality. And you didn't come to regurgitate someone else's idea of what you should do. Most humans, rather than listening for, their vortex version, which is out ahead of them, which is calling them all the time. Instead of being under the influence of your own inner being who adores you and who is calling you and who gives you moment-to-moment feedback about whether you're coming toward or moving away from, whether you're closing the gap or widening the gap, whether you're allowing or resistant. Instead of feeling for that, most of you were sort of trained by those who got here before you and forgot about it, forgot about their own alignment. Most of you care what other people think, and so most of you use the opinions of others as your guidance. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And while we want you to know that we love each and every one of them, did we tell you that we love each and every one of them? They don't make good. Did we tell you that we love each and every one of them? It's not a good idea to try to please them, because first of all, they're all different, and next of all, none of them knows who you really are. And most important, and we really want you to hear this, they don't get you at all, no matter how much you want them to. They don't get you. There's not a person on this planet who really gets you. And that explains your utter disappointment in humanity. Because you keep wanting there to be someone who really understands you. It's why you talk so much about everything. I really, really want you to know where I've come from, where I've been, and why I feel like I feel. And they're just going, Not one of them gets you. And if they do, it doesn't help you, because as you're trying to explain to them where you came from, you're not standing where you are, and you're certainly not moving toward what life has caused you to become. So that was just our sales job, to help you to realize that you have guidance within you who is always aware of you, who is calling you toward all that you have become. And while humans are lovely, don't pay any attention to what any of them think about what you should do. Because did we tell you that we love them so much? They are all in it for themselves. And that's such a good thing, because everyone has this selfish orientation, because you can only see through the eyes of self. So it sometimes hurts your feelings when you realize that as they are guiding you, they are really putting you in the best position to help them. And then you think, they don't really love me. They want this for them. And we say, don't fight it. It's the way you are eternally wired. In other words, you only have perspective of self. Now, that does not mean that a person cannot get tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and look from broader perspective. When you are under the influence of source, then you want well-being for all. In other words, when you blend with that source energy, you do care. And we're not saying that there are not people that care. Of course there are. There are a lot of people that care. But just don't replace any one of them as your guidance system, because they will let you down every single time. They'll go along, they'll be perfect, 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 perfect. And then they'll croak. The nerve of that. Or they'll look over somewhere else for a minute. They won't hold you as their steady object of attention. Can you believe that? They'll live their own life. They'll want their own things. They might even have other friends. Really? Really? But your own guidance comes from your source energy. It's the expanded version of you. And it's tried and true and always focused upon you and always available for you. It's like that light is always there. That signal is always there. Always right there. Always aware of where you are and always broadcasting. But you got to tune in. Got to